John Eager, this is your life. You were born in Cape Town on the 12th of November 1947, the second child of Iris and Walter Eager. Your father was a travelling salesman by day and a respected amateur singer by night. Here he is singing the bass solo in the Elijah Quartet at the Albert Coates farewell concert with the Cape Town Symphony Orchestra on the 21st of August 1952. By the time you were 8, you had acquired 2 more sisters, and the family moved to Johannesburg, where you finished your schooling at Athlone Boys High. Your sisters, Maria and Sylvia, remember the idyllic childhood you shared.
Here we are in not so sunny South Africa, and we thought, as Sylvia tops you by a few years, she can remember things that you may not have remembered. So Sylvia, over to you.
Right. Dear John, the thing is, we were very lucky to have a brother. It made us tough and strong. Do you remember trying to kill us? You were always trying to kill Lulu, and you were always trying to drown me. But those were happy days.
They
They
were
were happy days.
Yes,
It made us strong. And do you remember when you always used to push us off the wall and told us to fly? What would we have done if you were not there to do that to us?
We would have had to learn to fly on our own.
Exactly. Yeah. And one more thing. Do you remember when you went to school at the age of 4? Because our mother couldn't take you anymore. And they asked her to take you back. Oh. But I took you to school. We walked through the gardens. I was 7, you were 4. And on the way back you used to say, I'm not walking, carry me. You were just about the same weight as I was, but I carried you because that's what a loving sister does.
Well,
You tell him about the reservoir.
the reservoir. Well, of course, I was too young for the reservoir. I mean, Sylvia remembers this, but you were, I think, about 4.
Yes.
And you disappeared. And Sylvia was hoping you would stay disappeared, but unfortunately, I was only 2. But they couldn't find you, and they were just about to drag the reservoir, drain the reservoir to find you, when you were hiding in a cupboard, keeping very quiet, and when people were calling you. And that's who you are.
That's how we love and know.
Yes, absolutely. And I feel like the 2 witches from Macbeth, 2 of the witches, the other witch isn't here. And what else do we recall, Sylvia? I think the thing that stays in my memory on the killing side is
In a good way.
In a good way. You used
In a
to
good way.
lie in your bed and you had that scale electric thing. I think it was a garage door or something. All your scale electrics, and you used to be sick. And I used to come and taunt you at the door. So you used to throw knives at me. So
You weren't very accurate.
You weren't very accurate, you missed. And there are so many memories that we recall from our childhood. I mean, okay, Sylvia was a little above us, and we were, and the 3 of us
I was
were
older.
We were like the 3 musketeers, and
Yes.
we were always getting into trouble. And we were told to look up to our sister, who was well behaved.
Yes.
But how times have changed.
But anyway, please look back on those wonderful memories and say, thank God I had sisters, because my brothers would have killed me.
And
Bye, John.
no, wait. We now need to sing Happy Birthday.
I can't sing.
Here we go. 1, 2,
2,
3.
3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear John. Take a glass. Happy birthday to you. Thank you.
Okay, Kevin, you're going to edit that, I hope.
Although you came from a musical family, you were more interested in cars and motorbikes. But all that changed when you were 19 and you were persuaded to join the rest of the family in the chorus of the Johannesburg Philharmonic Society's production of The Mikado, with your father in the title role. He got you to learn the role of the Mikado just for fun. Your dad subsequently fell ill, and you jumped in and performed the role with great success, with the loudest applause coming from your father, who was perfectly well and sitting in the audience. He just wanted to see if you could do it. In 1967, a few days after your 20th birthday, you married Erica Kubisco, and your first daughter, Samantha, was born the following year. Your second daughter, Georgie, came along in 1974. You were working hard to support your family by installing burglar alarms during the day and singing at night, just like your father. You were soon spotted by Eva Noel Harvey, a prolific composer and passionate supporter of young South African talent. She encouraged you to perform with her Southampton Arts Group, doing your first Amal and the Night Visitors with them in 1974, and the following year the part of Haman in the world premiere of Eva's opera Esther, performed at the Civic Theatre in Johannesburg.
Hello, John. Joyce Dalton here. Do you remember the times we used to do the operas at Mrs. Harvey's, Bobolink? And I played Amal and you were one of the kings, and then we did Esther, one of her own operas, and then you went on to do wonderful things in Cape Town. I'd like to wish you a wonderful and very happy 70th birthday. Hope you're still using that wonderful voice of yours. Have a great time. Lots of love. Joyce.
Mrs. Harvey also gave you other easy roles, like Smirnov in William Walton's The Bear. Here you are in rehearsal. It was around this time that you saw Lawrence Folly for the first time, starring as Haj the Beggar in Kismet at the Civic Theatre. Swinging on ropes and being carried on stage on a litter by 6 gorgeous showgirls showing off a six-pack, you decided that singing might not be such a bad career after all. You got yourself into the packed ad hoc chorus so that you could watch him up close and learn from him. You introduced yourself to Lawrence when you joined the 1974 production of Lucia, and he threw you out of his dressing room when you disagreed with his opinion that the best baritone in the world was Leonard Warren. This video is from a later packed production in 1979 with Lawrence as Enrico and John 11 as Edgardo. In 1976, you spotted an advert for a contract with the opera company in Cape Town, and you saw it as a chance to make a living out of singing. You became a founder member of the permanent chorus and moved your family back to Cape Town. We couldn't find a picture of you with the rest of the original chorus members, but we do have it on reliable authority that you were there. We managed to track down another founder member now living in New Zealand to corroborate that you were actually there at the beginning.
Hi, John. Very happy 70th birthday to you. We go back a long way, you and I, and this is my little contribution to your 70th birthday celebrations with lots of love from Sue Bradford. Those words they'd never end. We'd sing and dance forever and a day. The chorus was our life. Kate Pad became our wife. Oh, we were young and sure to have our way. The stage was our delight, our joy most every night. And so it was for several years a zone, until that magic time when, John, your voice sublime became a solo baritone.
You took part in dozens of productions over the next 10 years, building up a huge repertoire of roles. Early on, they also sent the chorus on tour, taking turns to sing the principal roles. Madame Butterfly was the first of these, and a big thank you to Cecilia Grodenzik, now living in Spain, who sent us these pages from the 1977 spring edition of Opera magazine. She sends you this greeting.
John, wishing you a happy 70th birthday. Can you believe it's been almost 40 years? Wishing you all the best for the next 40 years. Take care. Lots of love, Cecilia.
Shared the role of Sharpless with Crawford Vernon, and the two of you got up to all sorts of mischief over the years. What on earth were the two of you doing here?
Okay, here we go. Hi, Big John. Hi, Big John. This is very appropriately in an opera house. This is Wexford Island, and because we first met in an opera house, if you remember, in Cape Town. And I've actually made a list of things that we worked on together here, but I don't really need to look at it because I can remember what we did. I can remember when we first met. I think we did Gianni's Kiki, right? You were in the cast for that, and I coached the complete cast, I remember. And I also remember, and My Fair Lady, of course, Susie, I'm getting a prompter here. From Susie, My Fair Lady. I think we did about 40 or 50 performances, of which I conducted about half. And I remember teaching you guys to sing I'm Getting Married in the Morning, because you all go, I'm getting married in the morning. You remember? Okay. Then next on my list is a Traviata, which I conducted, in which you sang Germont. That was on tour, do you remember? And a lovely concert with the Cape Town Symphony Orchestra with Suzanne Davis. And then finally, I think when Susie and I moved to Peter Maritzburg, we did Stainer's Crucifixion. I invited you to come and sing the baritone in that, which was great. Anyway, John, I know I'm getting to happy birthday. So anyway, John is the introduction to happy birthday. This is Susie. Do you know her? She's my wife. Okay, John, God bless you. Have a great birthday and enjoy yourself, and we'll see you very soon. Okay.
Welcome to the 70s, John.
In Madame Butterfly, you worked your way through most of the male characters. After Sharpless on tour, you progressed in the main opera house through the official registrar, the imperial commissioner, the bonds, and back to Sharpless a couple of times, with the 1999 season turning out to be your final appearance in Cape Town. Here you are as Yamadori in 1982 with Philip de Vos as Goro. Philip remembers that production, but says he had much more fun on stage with you doing Die Vrolijke Vrouwe von Windsor that year. During your chorus years, you proved to be versatility personified and a master of quick study. The most famous being when you had to go on stage as Antonio the gardener in The Marriage of Figaro in 1983. With about 20 minutes' notice, a quick run-through in a rehearsal room, and words hastily written down on a piece of paper which you hid in your hat, the show went on. But you're still recovering from the adrenaline rush.
Opening night has arrived. In just about an hour, backstage corridors of this theatre complex will be alive with feverish activity after the months of preparation and hard work. Emotions are running high. The fear of failure or the euphoria of success.
You were playing Dr. Grenville in this 1985 production of Traviata,
Last
and
minute
here's
ticket
proof
sales at
that
the
you
box
never
office
missed the
for those
chance
who
to
did
warm
not
up
book
in
in
plenty of
advance.
time.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the Traviata Company. This is your half-hour call. 30 minutes, thank you.
The maid was watching all the time we were doing. Really? They chose you for the demonstration? No, she came to my house, that's it. Right.
Warm up, boys. Come on, warm up.
And here's your big moment in Act 4 with Aviva Pelham as Violetta.
Hi, John. It's Mandy here, Mandy Beckenstein, once upon a time Miranda Clark from the Cape Hab Opera. I have been in the United States since 1985. My last performance in Cape Town was with you in that Traviata where Aviva was Violetta. So what do I remember of Traviata? First of all, mostly standing in the wings for that Act 4 entrance. Aviva had been singing her guts out on stage, literally her guts out, reading the letter. The American tenor had entered to do the big duet with her. Her demise was imminent, and standing in the wings, ready for our entrance and trying to remain really focused and poised and sad, because this is the mistress whom I've served and I loved her very much, you know, all that stuff. And you and Larry, guess what you're singing? You're waiting for the stretta of the duet to sing. Oh, kiss my ass, I come from Leeds. Ba-bum, bum, 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 ba-dum. Oh, kiss my ass, I come from Leeds. And so on and so forth. And the two of you are cracking each other up, courtesy of an old Sadler's Wells tradition. Thanks, Larry, for bringing that to us in South Africa. It was a bit of fun. And then we would compose ourselves and go on stage. And John, that was your big sing. You had some lines in that act, and I think you went in and knelt at Aviva's knee, and I went in to, you know, wring my hands in the background. So that's what I remember. I remember you being a load of fun. I remember life being often very light-hearted around you, but I also remember that you very much wanted to work really hard and become a soloist, as I think did many of us. And I know that you achieved that before moving on to doing other things with your life. And so it is with great happiness that I wish you a 70th birthday. I arrived there a little before you in April, and in fact, this lovely scarf that I am wearing is courtesy of Aviva. It was my 70th birthday present that arrived in an envelope from her, so I thought it was ideal to wear it. My 70th birthday present, and to sing to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday dear John, happy birthday to you, and many more. I hope it's a wonderful day, and I'm so happy to have been asked to pay tribute to you and the fun which we had in the K-pop chorus.
You became great mates with Lawrence Foley, and the two of you appeared in countless productions together over the years. Tosca, Macbeth, Traviata again and again, then Ariadne, Aida, William Tell, the list goes on and on. In 1988, you sang Ramfis with John Trelevin as Radames. Lawrence wasn't in that production, but you did Figaro and Rigoletto together that year. And you also shared the role of Johann Strauss Sr. in The Great Waltz for a 4-week run. Cape Times critic Dion Irish dubbed it the not-so-great waltz, but Fiona Chisholm clearly enjoyed your macho portrayal. Lawrence reprised the role without you when it was staged in Durban the following year with just one cast, and he sent you this postcard which said, "Dear John, just on my way to the theatre for 2 more waltzes. I think you'll have to take over next time, my pacemaker is wearing out. All the best, Johann Strauss." And here you are, dubbing your friend, mentor and teacher as the Knight of the Woeful Countenance.
Oh, very well. Don Quixote de la Mancha, having proven yourself this day in glorious and terrible combat, and by my authority as Lord of this castle, I hereby dub thee Knight.
Your Lordship.
Something else?
It is customary to grant the new knight an added name. If your Lordship could devise such a name for me.
By now, your little roles had become bigger roles. In 1985, you jumped in as Amonasro with 4 hours' notice. And in 1986, your cracking performance of Alfio in Cavalleria Rusticana caught everyone's attention. Took part in a concert that year which was devised to showcase the talent in the chorus. You and Nicky Chenkeli sang the Rodrigo Don Carlos duet.
John, happy birthday, congratulations. Now you've joined the 70s club.
Hello, John. I'd like to thank you for all the nice times we had together. I tell you, this year, as you know, you're 70, I'm going to be 78, and I think it's time for you to be the godfather. Parlavi piano e vivi vicino a me. Sento il dolore degli occhi miei dentro in te. Nessuno sa la verità, neppure il cielo che ci guarda e non lo sa. John, that was for you, but it was more for Laura.
Bye.
In December 1986, you were finally offered a contract as a soloist in the slot vacated for buffo bass. Your first role in this capacity was Dr. Bartolo in The Barber of Seville. Marilyn Bennett was your Rosina. Marilyn has recently become a Kammersängerin at the theatre in Hagen, but she remembers you well.
John? Is that you, John? I'm over here. Can't you see me? Over here. Hello? Hi? Anybody there? Hi. John? Hello? It's Marilyn. 70? Tell me. I don't know anybody who's 70. Oh, that John. Well, you know, we've been in so many productions together that I've lost count. You were one of the first people I met when I went to the Nicomedon. So we probably started with Figaro and ended with Barbara of Seville and Man of La Mancha, who was the best laser wolf in the whole world. I remember Fiddler on the Roof as well. We've done so much together. And my favourite bit of Barbara of Seville, because we had such a laugh, was when you were teaching Rosina how to do the folk song. La 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 la, and then you did a little twirl at the end. We had a giggle. Sometimes maybe too much giggles, but we did have a giggle. Well, John, I wish you a very, very happy birthday, surrounded by your loved ones and with your beautiful, beautiful family. All I can wish you as we celebrate the last 70 years, I wish you all the love in the world for the next 70. So have a lovely time and happy birthday. Bye. Tschüss.
Donna Alonso, eccola qua. Ma io dico Rosina, quando mi sei vicina, amabile Rosina, il cor mi brilla detto, mi fa la duetto, la 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 la.
Many other leading roles followed. You got to do the Mikado again, but this time playing the bigger part of Pooh Bah and thoroughly enjoying making your entrance on a Kawasaki 1000. Baron Zita, Timur, Ferrando, Don Pasquale, you sang roles in every known bass and baritone Fach. Verdi, Puccini, Rossini, Bellini, Britten, Wagner, Lehar, Mozart. Ah yes, Mozart again. But this time you've had enough time to learn the part of the Commendatore before the performance. Andrea Katzel played your daughter Donna Anna in this 1991 production. She was another soprano with whom you performed on many occasions. We tracked her down in Australia and this is her message.
Hi, John. This is just to wish you a very, very, very happy birthday. I believe you're turning 50. Yeah, you know, we're all 50 again and again. It's the best way to be. I just want to tell you about lovely memories I have of you. One is when we were driving by bus to Grahamstown Festival. It was freezing cold, to do Rape of Lucretia. And you and the guys were so badly behaved. You were so misbehaved. You drank too much and you spoke too loudly and you were hilarious. Anyway, that's just one. And then the other, when we were back in Cape Town, we did the run. And I remember distinctly that one fine moment after interval, as I was going onto stage to sing my little bit, I was doing female chorus and I had some monologue or something to deliver, and you guys were waiting in the room, in the antechamber right there off stage, waiting to come on. And just before I went on stage, I released a silent but extremely deadly fart. And I sailed onto the stage and I sang my bit, and all I could see was you and the guys in the chamber doing this. I'm sorry, you know, I left you a blue sort of haze, and I apologize, but it was funny. It really was funny. So, listen, sweetheart, I send you my biggest, biggest, biggest love for a most wonderful, memorable birthday with your beautiful family, and I wish you many more years of happiness and good health and lots of love. So take care. Bye.
Playing opposite Andrea was Gerard Leroux as Don Ottavio in that production, and Gerard was also in the cast of Turk in Italy. Here he is again with you and Lawrence Foley in a trio from the Turk, where you're all giving it some stick.
And I'm working on the plot. I am working on the plot. I am working on the plot. Let us choose another subject. I forget that young admirer, or a poet shall be beaten. We be added to the plot, yes, a poem shall be beaten. To be added, to be added, to be added to the plot, yes, a poem shall be beaten. To be added, to be added, to be added to the plot. Here's my first act. Jealous husband and admirer. In my first scene, husband Turk, husband excited, wife delighted, admirer slighted. Raise the curtain on the fire. But this, you'll see a poet beaten. See a poet torn apart. You will see a poet beaten. See a poet torn apart. Raise the curtain on the first day. Raise the curtain, and for certain you will see a poet beaten by the husband. Is insulted. See a poet torn apart.
Oh, you're all clearly having far too much fun.
Happy birthday, my friend, from all of us.
And from me, and I apologize that this dear heart, who's keeping his wine glass in front of my face, is sitting down instead of standing up. But every time we try to get the camera on him, no matter where I put the camera, it seemed to behead him, you know, and I thought it would be a little bit obscene if you got, you know, sort of a beheaded tenor singing at you.
What's important, my friend, is not my face. I'm sure you know about that. And as for the standing and the sitting,
it's like, yeah, okay, fine.
It's like after the night after the wedding. She couldn't stand, she couldn't sit, and I couldn't stand.
Okay, fine. You know, so okay, fine. So and so on and so on and so on. So and for that, so we love you, and
yes,
we hope to see you, both of you, very soon again. Okay.
Have a wonderful day. We love you. Bye.
A woman capricious and flirtatious, whom by misfortune is the wife of Don Giovanni. I've had enough. And I have a huge one. Tiny headache! My God!
Don't get excited. You're always complaining. I promise I don't complain, although you give me cause.
I give you cause. Pray tell me, what cause am I giving you for complaint?
You had your say, now I have my say. You change.
Have I?
You're cold towards me. God knows happy days when you adored me. Is it wrong, to be come from?
What Geronio? What's her next move?
Here's a message from your Fiorella.
Hi, Louisa here. What a blast from the past this is. And I'm so happy to be able to wish you a very happy 70th birthday, John. And all I can think of is, where on earth did that go? But you know, this whole business of being contacted and being asked to do a little video to remember you, but to remember our time together is so awesome, because you know, it's brought back so many memories of our rehearsal time together for that, especially for that duet that I've just watched. And oh my God, you know, I can remember laughing and laughing during that whole procedure, and it brings back the memories for me of, you know, being asked to do this role at very short notice, because your soprano that you was previously booked had got sick or something and couldn't do it, and I had about, you know, well, I had the score on the plane and I didn't know it. I was listening to it on the plane and I didn't know the piece yet, so it was pretty daunting actually to be turning up somewhere. And when I was picked up by this nice young lady at the airport, she said, oh, by the way, you know, the fourth performance or whatever it was, fifth performance, I can't remember, it's going to be broadcast live on TV, at which point I nearly pooped myself. But anyway, most of my memories of Cape Town, to be honest, is being either in a rehearsal studio learning the piece, or in my hotel room learning the piece and rehearsing with you guys. And I have to say, all of you from the team in Cape Town were so welcoming to me, made me feel at home, really helped me, especially you, John. You really helped me to feel comfortable in the company and to be comfortable in the role. And you know, everybody was so helpful, especially you. And I just never forget the because I had to learn it at such short notice, I couldn't remember all the words, and so they cunningly put the words for me on the surtitle machine in the pit behind the conductor, so that I could then, if I got stuck, I could remember all the tunes, but the words just, you know, went. So if I got stuck, I could just look down at the surtitle machine, and get my cues from there, which was fabulous. But the televised day, of course, came and went with me with a terrible chest cold. I don't know if you remember that at all, but I was pretty poorly actually, but I was so determined. I'd sweat blood to get there and learn that part, and there was no way I wasn't going to get on and be in the TV broadcast. I'm so glad I was now, because I can watch it and remember that time we had together. So yeah, I'm not going to go on and on. It was just one of those wonderful moments in my life where I ended up somewhere really exotic and gorgeous and sang with some lovely people. And yeah, that duet, especially the moment where you blew your nose in my lovely little hanky. I mean, you know, what a thing to do to a girl. I'll never forget that. But hey, theatre. Thank you very much for contacting me and asking me to be part of this. It's awesome. And I hope to catch up with you all soon and have a wonderful, fantabulous 70th birthday, and over and out. Bye.
Your performance as Geronia in this production was one of 6 outstanding roles that year, which led to your being awarded the Nederberg Prize for Opera, the South African Airways Performing Arts Award, and the Fred Delberg Award for Overseas Study. Fred had been your first singing teacher in Cape Town. You were very close, and you sang at his funeral just a few years earlier. He was like a father to you, and he would have been so proud. The prize funds allowed you in early 1993 to travel to Europe and get some expert coaching in Germany. Upon your return to Cape Town, you went straight into rehearsals for Peter Grimes. As well as all the Rossini froth, more serious roles were starting to come your way. Shortly after Grimes, you prepared to perform your dream role, Der Fliegende Holländer, in a memorable production by Günther Schneider-Simonsen. long-suffering coach at the time, Ian Smith, remembers the challenge of getting you to stay in voice.
Dear John, that ominous introduction brings back many memories of us working together. Memories such as, yes, John, I know that the weather in Cape Town is great today, but no, John, you can't go to the beach, not tomorrow, and also not the day after. We are dealing with Wagner here, and we have lots of work to do. But seriously now, I cannot believe that that was 24 years ago. And now, 24 years later, on this very special occasion, happy birthday, John. May this be the beginning of a most wonderful new decade in your life.
Hi, John. I'm not going to sing. You can relax. Not Zenta or happy birthday. But what I do want to say is happy birthday for your 70th. I cannot believe you are 70 because I still think you're a hunk. Happy birthday from Cape Town, and come and visit soon. Much love.
Hi John from Cape Town. Happy 70th birthday. My goodness, you're 9 years ahead of me. Yeah, I was thinking back about all the fun times we had. You were in my first professional opera, Il Matrimonio Segreto, do you remember? As Geronimo. Yeah, and I still have the photograph up on our wall that Angus McBride drew for us. For me, at least.
Hold on. Sorry, Christine. I'm just getting another message about Il Matrimonio Segreto. Lucy Colby-Long has sent in some pictures of the production, and she has a message for John. She says, "Dearest John, here are a couple of photos from the last production we did together before I left Cape Town for Germany in 1989. What a wonderfully brilliant production this was. Produced by Christine Krause, you sang Geronimo playing a brilliant mafia boss. I was your sister, Fidalma, with Patricia Sedan and Karina Cronier as your daughters and André Potrita as Paolino. I have so many fond memories of so many great adventures we had on the Cape Hab Opera stage. Very best wishes for your 70th birthday and many more great years to come. Lots of love and big hugs, Lucy."
And then, yeah, things like the tours, Annie Get Your Gun. You remember the incident in Queenstown when you were sitting on the loo and the window fell on top of you? And Flying Dutchman, how we battled to get those long solo scenes together, hey? And then, of course, Leopold. You were so funny with your no singing role. I send you all my best and wish you lots of love and luck for your new year, and from Renee too.
Happy birthday, John! Congratulations from myself and José. Now, if you look at the top of our piano, we have put out for your interest. That is not every opera that José has seen, but it is every opera he has seen with you in it, except for some of these that I have in my hand, which are some that I particularly remember of your performances. So I think we worked out that it was something like over 45 operas alone that he's seen you in. You have had quite a career, as we all know. And these ones are the ones that I really remember you in particularly. You seemed to be, well, you were in everything, in every possible way. Of course, the Vliegende Hollander was absolutely amazing, and you were incredible as the Vliegende Hollander. So that is something quite memorable for me. And then Peter Grimes as well, because of course both of those as chorus master were very important, and you did a very beautiful Captain Balstrode. Then there was the Turk in Italy. And I feel as if I'm doing a demonstration, but this is all just for you, John. And then, of course, there was William Tell, which was a huge project for the chorus and for various choirs in Cape Town, but you also took part in. And I also remember that you did do some lovely oratorio work as well. The Fauré Requiem comes to mind and various others. So, John, you've had a fantastic career. You're looking great. I look forward to seeing you soon. And congratulations and happy birthday. Lots of love. Bye.
This was arguably the pinnacle point of your career, but also the beginning of the end, as the Arts Council's funding was drastically reduced and 10 principal singers were taken off the books. You hit the headlines for the wrong reasons. But you were happy to freelance and find a new artistic challenge, painting. Setting off with a pot of emulsion and a few old brushes, you were soon learning a new skill, encouraged by the German ambassador's wife, Vera Vader. You also indulged your passion for cars and built yourself a Lotus 7 with an elongated chassis to accommodate your long legs. In 1994, you took part in another world premiere of a South African opera, Rudolf Temming's Enoch. Here you are, playing the part of John Nightingale, worried about what lies ahead.
Whispers of slander, voices raised in anger. Somewhere out there the prophet waits. Waiting for what? Waiting for what?
3 years later, you took the lead in Temming's second opera, Sacred Bones, in which you were required to appear naked. Learning the music was easy, but getting in physical shape took a lot more effort and several last-minute negotiations to be allowed to wear a loincloth on the night. You'll be glad to hear that we couldn't track down a photograph of that scene.
Once brave and green, naked to the sun's lashing quivers. We wait for rain, listen beneath, but thunder cloudless desert.
You were also challenged that year by being cast in the role of Enrico, successfully cranking your voice up to lyric baritone again. In June 1998, the role of Oroverso also required nudity, but thankfully only a bare chest. You caught a cold just before opening night and stood in the rain to try and prolong it because you thought it gave your bottom notes extra resonance. Thankfully, you didn't pass it on to the rest of the Norma cast, and you all became great friends. Every now and again, a cast just gels, and this appears to have been the case in this production. Virginia Grasso sang the title role, and she sends this message from New York City. Happy 70th birthday, dear John. I can't believe our Norma was 19 years ago. Sending hugs and best wishes for a great start to a new decade of good health and happiness. Virginia. Armando Mora was Polioni. He's still singing in Mexico.
Hi John, how are you? Big hug from Mexico. This is a special day for you. I want to wish you all the best and to tell you that I have the best memories from my time in Cape Town. Singing that beautiful production of Norma, getting to know you, visiting around, remember your beautiful voice and the wonderful person that you are. So, sending my best regards, and who knows, maybe we will meet another day in this time, in this life, or who knows when. All the best, John, from my heart.
And Kamal Khan was in the pit.
Happy birthday, John. I can only imagine how many of your tributes have included singing, so I won't go there. But this is Kamal, and I'm spending nearly 20 years after the fact my afternoons and evenings in a room which used to be the canteen, which is now a rehearsal room at Artscape, which used to be the Nico, where we did our first productions together, the 1997 Lucia and the 1998 Norma, both of which I have wonderful, wonderful memories of. South Africa was really the opening of a wonderful chapter in my life, and I'm so happy that you shared it with me. And I'm very excited that you're going to be sharing your birthday with such wonderful memories and such wonderful friends. I send you a big hug through the airway. Your angry Scotsman and your angry Druid that you sang for me were both remarkable and wonderful, and my memories are very warm. I'm sure everyone who is with you today is having a marvelous time. Hopefully there's recordings of some of what we did. I'm sure there's lots of recordings of things you did, but I have such fond recollections of it. I'm sending you a big happy birthday. Many, many more. Much love. Kamal.
When you sang this famous song from South Pacific at the Lawrence Farley Gala concert in 1993, nobody would ever have imagined that 5 years later you would accidentally bump into Laura, Larry's youngest daughter, and follow her back to London. You married her in 2001 and became his second singing son-in-law. You took part in 3 productions in the UK and made some new friends. In Scotland, you sang Monterone to Nicholas Fulwer's Rigoletto, and in Loughborough, you reprised the Commendatore. David Kempster was your Don Giovanni.
Hi, John. You find me here in Copenhagen under a pile of baby clothes, but I guess you know how that feels. I hope you have a fantastic 70th birthday. Sending best wishes here from Copenhagen. And I'll never forget the first person that dragged me down to hell as Don Giovanni was you.
Sally Silver was Donna Elvira in that production, and later that year she sang the mother in Amal and the Night Visitors with you.
Hi, John. Just wanted to say happy birthday. Got lots of memories from La Traviata and Amal and Don Giovanni and the fun we had. And just hoping you have a blast and are sending thoughts of you. Happy birthday. Bye.
And so you came full circle. Amal in Johannesburg in 1974, here in Cape Town in 1982, and finally in London in 2001. In typical Eager style, you sang both King Melchior and Balthazar, sometimes in the same production. After a mile, you were happy to retire from singing and get back to oil painting. In 2003, Abigail, your third daughter, was born. Laura went back to work, and at the age of 56, you became a full-time dad. Your other girls had also grown up. You took Abigail to see Samantha in Cape Town when she was born, and Georgie was living in London at the time. A couple of years later, Georgie had 2 sons. Soon after, she moved to Australia, and you went to visit her there in 2010.
Hi, Dad. We're on our way to school. We thought I'd send you a video catching us in the action And I had a poo.
Oh, stop. I want to wish you a happy birthday. And they're busy eating donuts. But remember how Granddad always sings to you? We're going to sing quickly.
Yeah, I'm not good, but...
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Granddad. Happy birthday to you. Hip hip.
Hooray.
Hip hip.
Hooray.
One more.
Hooray.
See you soon, Dad. Have a good one.
And that recording was you singing Dr. Engel in The Student Prince in Cape Town back in 1981. In recent years, you've taken up pottery, gardening, dog walking and building bridges for cats out of trampolines.
That which I have has been taken from others, from naughty children and difficult mothers. Just a few things I can call my own. Taking's not stealing, a giant must live in style. That which I possess, I simply borrowed for a little while. This garden's mine, the trees are mine, even birds and bees are mine. What's mine is mine,
And of course, you still love to tinker with old engines and feed your fish.
how selfish I have been. Now I know why the spring would not come
In 2016, after 14 years of intermittent, incapacitating episodes of atrial fibrillation, you finally had a pacemaker fitted, and you haven't looked back. You are now a bionic man. Today you're looking and feeling better and fitter than ever, and you're still making music. And finally, I'm afraid that you couldn't get away without a little message from your crazy folly in-laws. I should explain that we have too many Johns in our family, so John Eager is known as Hagar. Mandy and Joe Robinson, Roxanne and John Trelevin specially took a trip to the Wild West for your birthday message.
Okay, you dirty son of a bitch. You get up.
I don't want to die.
Yeah, you gotta die,
I
brother.
don't. I'm not ready to die.
You gotta be hung high.
I'm not ready to die.
Hung high, I'm telling you. You dirty son of a bitch. Okay, justice is gonna be ours. Here we go. Okay, Vicar, I got him here ready to be hung. The last word. What's your last word, son? Hang on a minute. I gotta get this here straight.
I don't want to die.
What's your last word, son?
Okay, my last words are Happy birthday, Hagar!
Happy birthday, dear Hagar. Happy birthday to you. Ella mi creda libero e lontano sopra una nuova via di redenzione. Aspetterà, io torni. Finito!
Congratulations, darling. You made it to 70.
Happy birthday. Love you, Dad.
Without a blessing.